everybody, right?
Okay. Let's make 100% sure that it goes. Oh, the gnats have decided to join us.
The gnats?
Yup.
I'm sending it to you first if you're seeing it. Video it out to you. Alright, I'm gonna go get this out to the rest.
Oh, yeah, that's going to work perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you, brother. Perfect. All right, we are streaming.
I call you when I need you and my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wide. You come to me and give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong, babe. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead. In your heart I see the start of every night and every day. In your eyes I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I can be in no better place. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I'd rather be dead. Oh, each time you leave me, I start losing control. Like you're walking away with my heart and my soul. I can feel you, babe, even when I'm alone. Baby, don't let go.
you're paying attention.
It was a trick question.
It was a trick question. You passed? Did I pass?
Is it only you three on this, or you?
No, we've got one, two, we got a total of 7.
And I will stand right back here. Up right here. Good. Perfect. Here we go.
Make sure they're not wet.
We tried to dry them all.
Yeah,
Tried to
nope.
go for-
Not bad at all. What's the matter? Oh, on the toes. Oh, yeah. Maybe you just do that.
They said the group was on the right there, but I don't think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I went traditional since they didn't tell us anything.
You sit right here beside me. We'll be good.
We'll look like we know what we do.
Exactly.
Keeps you warm.
Check.
Bring this go. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Is that loud? Can you hear that? Perfect.
The right, the right, the side.
I call you when I need you and my heart's on fire.
Second round.
You come to me wild and white. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. Yeah. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I'll rather be dead. In your heart, I see the start of every night and every day. In your eyes, I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I can be in no better place. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone, anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. We'll tear us apart. Baby, I'd rather be dead. Oh, each time you leave me, I start losing control. Like you're walking away with my heart and my soul. I can feel you, babe, even when I'm alone. Baby, don't let go. 'Cause you're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heartbeat. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Well, I would rather be dead. Ooh.
You're like, I can't see which finger it is from that far. You're in the clear.
I call you when I need you and my heart's on fire.
Well, it's probably easier for you to post.
You come to me wild and wild. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love, yeah, you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone.
We're almost not to me.
Anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart.
We didn't coordinate this.
I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead. In your heart, I see the start of every night and every day. In your eyes, I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I can be in your arms. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I'd rather be dead. Oh, each time you leave me, I start losing control. Like you're walking away with my heart and my soul. I can feel you, babe, even when I'm alone. Baby, don't let go. 'Cause you're such a bad. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heartbeat. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Well, I would rather be dead. Ooh.
She's looking behind you. Yeah.
Still waking up.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this incredible event. 2020 has been interesting. A year where we've had wildfires burning across the world, we've had a global pandemic, and we've had freaking murder hornets. This has given us a bright spot to look forward to, and I think we all have been. Before we begin, who's giving this woman away today? And is it your own choice? Are you sure? Okay, perfect. Jeremy, I'll have you take your place next. So as we mentioned, 2020 has been interesting, and it has been a year that has felt like a test for all of us. And the bright spots of 2020 have felt fewer and far between, but this is one of those bright spots, and I think we can all agree with that. We are here to celebrate these two people in this moment alongside two of what I assume are all of our favorite people in the planet. I hope that this event will help us all remember the good things about being a human being on this planet floating through space, the joy, the happiness, the love, and the togetherness that we are all fortunate to celebrate today. And of course, for all the people watching on that live stream back there, you guys can wave. Hi. We want you all to know that while you could not be here with us physically, everyone is here with us together as family, even though we're spread out across the world. And there's something very special to be said that this many people were willing to gather with these two people. Now, those of you who know me personally, which is a solid number of you, know that I've had 3 items on my bucket list in life. The first was to be on a Jumbotron at a scoreboard for doing something cooler than making out with a beer during Kiss Cam. I've accomplished that. My second was to marry 2 people. And not just any 2 people, but 2 dear friends of mine, which I can say today, mission accomplished. The reason I've wanted to do that is because I knew that if I got asked to do this and was in a position where I felt comfortable to accept, it meant that I had found 2 people that I would call dear to me and friends for the rest of my life. And I would cherish that moment. And here we are. And I hope that everyone here feels the exact same way about that. This is an incredible event, and don't judge me for this being a bucket list sign-up, but this is pretty cool. And also, thank you. I know this jacket looks great. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, bucket list item complete. These two people have asked me to officiate their wedding, and of course I gladly said yes. And I know that I've now found a friendship with these two people, two of the most unique, fun, interesting, and most importantly, genuine people that I've ever had the good fortune of meeting, and two people that I consider not only dear friends, but legitimate family, as far as I'm concerned. These people have those qualities, and because of that, they're lucky to have found each other, and we are all lucky to have these two people in our lives. We are all lucky to be a part of this event, their special moment, and to be a part of their lives moving forward. Because if there are two people I know that will make the world a better place together, it's these two standing in front of us. I've known Jereme Rightly for more years than he is probably willing to admit in public, and I don't blame him for that. We've been bandmates for a decade and a half. We've been roommates. We've been travel buddies. We've been soccer watching mates. And I can tell you, Katie, that if you didn't already know this, this is one of the most compassionate, caring, and to a fault perfectionist people I've ever met in my life. Maybe too much for his own good sometimes, but in this case, he did well. The fact that you are everything that this man wanted, after all I've seen for him getting angry about missing one note in a 5-minute song, but he picked you. That's impressive to me, and and you've picked well. Jereme is more than anything else unapologetically himself at all times. It's my favorite quality about him. No matter where we are, Jereme is Jereme. No matter what we're doing, Jereme is Jereme. When we're performing on stage, and any of you that have seen this band play, you know that no matter who is around us, Jereme and his dance moves are Jereme and his dance moves. They never change. He doesn't mind whether you like him or his taste. He likes what he likes. He loves what he loves. And Katie, this may be obvious. If it's not, good time to realize he's picked you, and he likes you, and he loves you. And I assume that you do the same. Now, there's a phrase in sports broadcasting, which I've been doing for a long time in football. When a team punts, which the University of Florida did a lot against LSU last week, go Tigers. I worked on that one. When a team punts and the punter gets off a great kick and the coverage team runs down to tackle, but the ball floats so high in the air for so long that they spread out, it's called out-kicking your coverage. And Jereme, I can tell you, my dear friend, you have out-kicked your coverage. Genuine people are hard to come by, and I think all of us have experienced this, especially in this year, which is driving us all a little bit crazy. But this young lady is one of the most genuine people I've ever had the pleasure of calling a friend. I've had plenty of opportunities to converse with Katie at gatherings of our circle of friends, at events she's come out to support Jereme, and of course this year from 850 miles away over Zoom teleconference calls, which has become a staple of our lives now. And let me tell you, connecting with Katie on a personal level is something that you will walk away from knowing that you are better for having her as a friend and as a family member if you're so fortunate. And the adoration that she shows for Jereme and that Jereme shows for Katie is something that I think is the best possible illustration of what we are all looking for out of life. I'll tell you a quick story real quick. A few weeks ago, Jereme and I were chatting on a Zoom call, catching up about whatever it was that was going on in our lives at that time. And at that time, Katie walked in and was standing in the doorway of the music room where Jereme and I were talking. And the three of us were just kind of catching up and goofing and laughing off for just a minute. And there was just this little moment that I don't even know if they caught it happening when it did, but I most certainly did. And this little moment helped me realize that I knew that this was the right decision for both of them. Katie walked in and was standing in the door frame to the music room where Jereme was sitting, and we were yelling back and forth to each other. I don't even know what we were discussing. Probably The Mandalorian, because seriously, guys, it's so good. Like, if you haven't watched it yet, it's incredible. Ahsoka Tano showed up. Incredible. I'm not going to tell you who showed up last episode, Scott. Have you watched it yet? No, I saw it. I should probably start talking about this. Let's get back to a wedding. My bad. Seriously, I watched Mandalorian. It's really good. So anyway, it was so good. So anyway, I started talking to Katie about whatever social issue of the day that we decided we were going to solve by yelling at each other across Jereme's face. And we effectively third-wheeled Jereme in his own house. It was hilarious. So Katie's standing in the doorway, and she and I are talking back and forth. And at one point, Jereme turns around and looks at her, and then he turns and he looks back at me, and he just has the biggest smile on his face. And it was so genuine, and it was so sincerely Jereme. I've known this guy for a lot of years. I know when Jereme's smiling versus putting on a face. He was so genuinely happy in that moment. He didn't care what was happening. You just see the happiness on his face emanating. It was incredible. And then when Katie and I reached the end of our part of the conversation, a brief aside, and before she turned to leave the room, Jereme told her we were almost done on the Zoom call and would be wrapping up very soon. And when he turned to look back at me, Katie was still in the doorway, and she had the same smile on her face just from looking at Jereme. It didn't matter what was happening. 2020 was raging outside, and none of the problems of the world matter. They had each other, They had that. They had their communication. And even though it was nonverbal, it was just this incredible moment to see these two people in the shortest interactions just smile, not even at each other, just smiling in general because they had each other. And I think that's something that we should all be happy that they found. So for that, just that moment, if you saw them, you would understand why we're here today. And I had that privilege and that opportunity. Their happiness emanated so profoundly and so powerfully that for me, being 1,000 miles away through the tubes and cables and pipes of the internet, I still don't know how all that works, but it's cool. I couldn't help but smile because the love and admiration and adoration that these two people have for each other is incredible. I was alone in an apartment in Greenville, South Carolina, wondering what in the world I got myself into, living so far away from all my friends. And I knew in that moment that I would be fine and they would be fine because they are two very special people and we are all very lucky to have them in our lives. And I know that from this point forward, everyone who has the good fortune of meeting you, both as friends and as a couple, the world will be better for it and their lives will be better for that. And I mean that sincerely. Now, when I was preparing for this ceremony, I wanted to really explore what marriage is. And no one has been foolish enough to do it with me yet. So it was kind of a weird experiment from the outside looking in. But I wanted to look at something that was a little bit deeper and how it impacts the lives of those who elect to join together in marriage. Now, way back in 1987, and as I was doing some research and watching videos and different stuff, way back in 1987, a very wise man had some words about marriage that when I heard them for the first time, they truly astounded me. They quieted me. And when I heard those words, I knew that those words were perfect for this moment. In the video that I watched, a man gazed upon a couple who had stood together in front of an altar ready to marry each other. He looked deep into their eyes, the weight of the words that he was about to say gathering above the heads. He took a deep breath. He looked them deep in the eyes and he said, marriage. Marriage is what brings us together. All right, you had to know that was coming. I'm sorry. That's why it's been on my bucket list. Don't apologize. I don't apologize. Anyway, in all sincerity, marriage is at its core a promise. Yes, it's love. Yes, it's action. Yes, it's work. But above all of that, it is a promise. Marriage is a promise that you will love that person forever and that you will work on that love forever. You will work on that love when times are tough. You will work on that love when one of you is struggling. You will work on that love when one of you is hurting, and you will work on that love no matter what is happening in both of your lives as individuals and as a couple. Marriage is a promise that you will always take action. When times are rough, you will be the rock that person can support themselves on. When one of you is struggling, you will be the hand that reaches to pull them up. When one of you is hurting, you will be the person who climbs down into that pit so the other person knows that they are not alone. Marriage is a promise that you will always be true to yourselves and to each other. It is a promise that you will always be honest with each other. And it is a promise that you will always be open with each other. It is a promise that you will share everything that you are and everything that you will be with each other forever. So I ask both of you now, are you prepared to make this promise, this everlasting promise, that everything you have, everything you are, everything that you will be, you will share with each other no matter what, till death do you part? Yeah. Perfect. This is the good part, you guys. I'm kind of excited. So a week ago, Katie and Jeremy told me that they have elected to read their own vows to each other. Ordinarily, Jeremy would go first, but Katie told me she didn't know if she was going to make it through Jeremy's vows, so she decided to go first. So with that being said, I'm going to turn the mic over, and Katie, the floor is yours.
Oh, God. Jeremy, I am the luckiest girl finally having found my loving, patient, goofy, handsome Disney prince I'd always been hoping for, aside from the puns. We've had quite the journey the past 7 years. We've had lows, like losing loved ones, having long, rough patches of long distance, and, 2020 in general. But we've also shared joy in our New Orleans adventures, dancing at many concerts, and challenging each other to see who would laugh first. And we somehow ended up with 3 cats. I couldn't picture this journey with anyone else. You're the Guillermo to my Nandor, and the Eleanor to my Chidi, and the Patrick to my David. I love you, and I'm ready to see what the future has in store for us. I win.
All right. Well, I was told to cut my vows down to a greatest hits / Cliff Notes version of a book I was writing for you called I'll Take a Vow. So here is my revised version. Honestly, I could write an 8-part series novel about why you're my better half. I'll start with chapter 4 or episode 4. I know that was a cheesy Star Wars reference, but I can say honestly and unequivocally, I am the most myself when I'm with you, and the other half is why I love you. I could put it in a cliff note or a short version. It would be that you make me feel whole. I hope to continue to make you smile, make you laugh, and most importantly, offer you comfort. If that is all I have to give with maximum effort. Time is our only currency, and each moment I spend with you is priceless. All of the time I have to spend, share, waste, or buy is yours, and this is my promise, and I will love you always.
That's the ring.
Like you knew I was going to say that, right?
Yeah.
We weren't making it out of here with that happening. Now, Katie, I'll have you take your ring and place it on Jeremy's left hand. Jeremy, take your ring, place it on Katie's left hand. Excellent. Now, with the vows made and the rings exchanged, I'd like to invite the parents of the bride and groom up to perform a traditional Irish hand fastening ceremony. Well, the hand fastening ceremony is an ancient ritual from the Irish and Scottish cultures. You've heard wedding ceremonies described as tying the knot. The origins of that phrase belong to this ceremony, where the hands of our two lovers will be literally tied together, symbolizing their lives intertwining for all eternity. Now I'm going to have you tie the knot. On this ribbon, there are a few colors. Purple, which represents the humility required to acknowledge mistakes made and the work required to correct them, and the responsibility of each to do so. You'll also see silver, which represents the values of each partner, values they share with each other and uphold throughout their relationship, and the inspiration each provides to the other to stay true to those values. And white. A white ribbon represents the focus that will keep this marriage as the highest priority in their lives and the purity of thought that comes with love for each other. Now I'll have our parents place your hands on top of the hands of our bride and groom, please. Jeremy, Katie, with these hands, love each other from this day forward. These hands will be the hands that you hold tomorrow, the next day, and into the decades for the rest of your lives. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as you build your lives together. The hands that will touch you with love and tenderness through the years, and the hands that will comfort you like no others can. These are the hands that you will hold through grief, through fear, and through hardship. These are the hands that will wipe tears of joy and sorrow from your eyes, and the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will hold your family together, and the hands that will give you strength when you need it most. These are the hands that, when wrinkled and spotted with age, will still be reaching for yours. I'll have our parents return to their chairs now. Now, Jeremy, Katie, esteemed guests, I shared with you early that 2 of my 3 bucket list items, this is number 2. I've checked it off my list. The 3rd bucket list item for me is for somebody to name their kid after me. I'm just saying, just think about it. All right, just think about it. Just think about it. Maybe I'm just saying for later. Perfect. I'll take a cat. I'll count it. Jeremy, Katie, as always, and this is a true statement, by the power vested in me by the state of Florida and by the Jedi Order, and that is a real thing that's happening right now. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Kiss each other, damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, I also get to say this, and it's true. The dude abides, and I present to you, with the greatest honor, Mr. and Mrs. Jereme and Katie Wrightley.
wait here for you ever long. Tonight I've thrown myself into, out of the red, out of her head she sang.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can start to make your way back over to the reception tent. We'll get the drinks going in just a few minutes.
Thank you, boss man. First time I've done this. So dumb. You sound like a natural. Thank you, brother.
Might have found a colic, man.
We're gonna find out. We'll see. If anybody else is brave enough to let me do that again.